We've looked into different certificates and what they mean to decide which one will suit our documentary best. U-classified films are suitable for people 4 and older. They should centre on positive messages with narratives that highlight things such as good actions to give an encourageable message to young children. Any one or message in the narrative that's seen as negative will obviously be stated as being so. This is a theme that reoccurs through many aspects in the classification guidelines of a U film, such as drugs and discriminatory language. These won't be hard-hitting or be key parts of the narrative, but will be portrayed in a way in which young, impressionable children believe them to be wrong. Violence, threat, sex and nudity, if any, will be very mild and won't cause any anxiety or shock to young children. PG films, parental guidance. PG films are suitable for children aged 8 or older, although, like any classification, it is impossible to know exactly how everyone of this age will react to different aspects of the film. Although the guidelines state that these films are suitable for children aged 8 or over, children of any ages can watch these films under the understanding that parents think it is suitable for that particular child. Parents should look at how they feel the particular child will react to the film, considering a number of elements. For example, how sensitive they are. Similar to U-classified films, things such as discrimination and drugs should be clearly stated as wrong, and if used as a focus of the narrative, should be to educate and/or inform the children about them and their risks. Bad language, nudity, sex, threat and violence should be mild. Violence and threat may be portrayed in a clearly comical manner. 12 and 12A classified films are suitable for people ages 12 and over. 12As can be seen by people younger than 12 as long as they are accompanied by an adult. Discrimination in general must be shown to be clearly wrong, as in U and PG films. If drugs are shown, there must be a realistic representation of the misuse of drugs, and this cannot feature regularly in the film. If there is moderate violence, it cannot be graphic, sexual violence can only be implied. There may be strong language, but overall this is dependent on the context. Nudity and sex reference must be brief. 15 certificates. Cannot be seen by anyone younger than 15. Sex can be portrayed, but typically this isn't strong and there are no constraints on nudity. Discriminative language and the misuse of drugs may be included, but this cannot be seen to be supported. There can be threat and violence, but this typically won't be too strong or graphic. Strong language is acceptable and often occurs in 15 rated films. 18s are only acceptable for adults to watch, and there is only a small extent of content which would be restricted in an 18. We've decided upon our documentary being of the U certificate, and although this doesn't meet our target audience, our primary audience being in their early 20s as university graduates and our secondary audience being 35 and older, this is a typical trend for documentaries, due to the fact that they are educational and don't often address difficult topics. This is because there is a vast range of documentaries focusing on everyday topics, engaging the mass market audience, as opposed to more specific documentaries which focus on individual hard-hitting topics. For example, a documentary on drugs, which will have a higher certificate based on its content. Our documentary, however, we have decided to be a U certificate, as it will have no discriminatory language, sex or nudity, and won't show the misuse of drugs. These are all aspects far more common in narratives of fictional films. Based on the topic of our film and all these reasons, we therefore feel that the U certificate is the best for our documentary, although our target audience seem older than the certificate.